All right, what a great event the Florida Supercon was this weekend here in South Florida. Joe, the reporter to my left. Now, what can you tell us as far as what your thoughts of this year's Florida Supercon?
Well, for me, for a first-timer, it's big. I mean, all these costumes, it's wow. I mean, the time and the effort these people put for these costumes, I don't even have time to do that.
Absolutely. It's amazing the type of costumes you see, and I got to give it up for the wrestlers, too. They really play their superhero and villain characters quite well.
Oh, no. That right there, what we saw in the ring, from Spider-Man to Green Arrow. Even, we had some celebrities there, like, Jesse Neal and the Hurricane.
Absolutely, and we had the opportunity of interviewing guys like Jason David Frank, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, and a whole list of celebrities that were in here. And one thing that I think will go in to our memory box is the person who does the voice for Rita, when she mentioned, she just screamed out in the middle of the ring, "Get those Power Rangers." They brought you chills.
Oh, man. Now that was, I went to like a time traveling and just, I had those goosebumps. And I was even telling you, look at those goosebumps. It was not being, I don't know if you want to say it, a mark, but it was something childhood that, just brought me back memories.
Rodolfo Roma, the Roman Show with TNA veteran Jesse Neal. Jesse, here at the Florida Supercon, I got to first bring it up. You're a little injured. I saw you limping when you were walking here.
Yeah, that's what we do. There was how many people? Like over 5,000 people in the crowd. It was ridiculous. When they're yelling, chanting, everything, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? I got to entertain. I got to do what I got to do. I hurt my knee. I broke 2 of my toes, but they were entertained. That's what matters.
It's the adrenaline rush that keeps you going.
I'm feeling it now, but when I was out there, I didn't feel anything. But, I couldn't stand up, but still.
Well, Jesse, let's talk about you. You were in TNA. You're no longer with the company.
Right.
You've been in the independent scene.
Yep.
What have you learned, man?
Man, I'm telling you what, this past year and a half, ever since I left TNA is a great company, and I respect everybody that was on the roster, and they helped me out so much. I grew from that roster so much, but I took what I learned on TV and off TV at house shows, onto the indie scene, and that's where I really have grown. And I basically have found myself, with the Dog of War and stuff like that, the message I want to portray in the ring to the fans. I've grown with the indie scene, and don't get me wrong, I love being on TV. The money's good, and the TV was great, and the fans are awesome, but I really appreciate what I don't know, lost, because coming from TV on the indies, but I've grown so much and I've learned so much, and I just can't wait to get back on TV to show the fans worldwide what I've learned and what Jesse Neal's really made out of.
Well, I got to ask your opinion here, because TNA let go of several wrestlers, including Joey Ryan, these folks that were in TNA Gut Check, which is really like your American Idol but for professional wrestling.
Right.
So it kind of defeats the purpose. What are your thoughts on that?
That's like a touchy subject, for one, because I knew about the Gut Check starting before I left. I was like the start of all that and stuff, but I ended up getting my release and stuff and I just decided to part ways. But when I saw Gut Check happening and young talent showing what they can do, they've been around for a little bit, but they got to be on the main stage, and that alone is awesome. See you, Rainer. You're an idiot. Shout out, bro. But it was a great opportunity for young talent to come on and show on TV what they're made out of. What happened after that, I don't know, because I wasn't there, but what I saw, because I'm a student of the game every day, no matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, I'm a student of the game. And I saw what happened to the young talent. Me, personally, great talent. A lot of great guys. Joey Ryan, Taylor, Crimson, are you kidding me? I had wrestling match with that guy, and today, if we had a wrestling match, we would tear this house down. I know it for a fact. That man has my respect, and he's prior military too, so right alone, the story is there with a guy like that. Sam Shaw, he got his release. I've been up and down the road with that guy, and I don't really like to put people over, only myself, but That man right there alone, he has not been able to show his talent. That man, he has so much talent to show, but hasn't had that opportunity. But like I say, it don't matter how good you are, because me personally, I'm the best. I'm not best in the world, but I'm better than everybody else.
Now I gotta ask you, since you were in that role, what can you advise these guys that are going through these situations? Because, you know, here they are, they were in TV,
Right.
they got the whole 9 yards, they're top of the
Yeah,
world, and
yeah.
then boom, they're right back to the indie scene.
Right.
What advice would you give them?
Well, basically right now what they're feeling is they were on that stage. They busted their butts, you know, so hard to get on that stage, and then boom, it's gone. And they fell. But right now, it's like falling off a horse. You got to get back on it. That's what I did. Don't get me wrong. I disappeared for like 8 months, but I trained. I worked hard. I found myself. And that's what a lot of these guys, true pro wrestlers, entertainers, are going to do. And you'll see, they'll weed themselves out. If they don't really have it, then they'll move on to something else, which there's no problem with that, because you got to live your life. Not everything is all about pro wrestling, you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. Not everything to me is pro wrestling. It's all about entertaining. I'm all about entertaining, you know? And as long as people have smiles on their face, I'm doing my job, or throwing stuff at me because I'm a bad guy. But, you know, whatever. But those guys need to jump back on that horse. They should brush it off. I mean, it take everything as a learning lesson. I always say, in this business alone, if you're not taking a step forward every day, you're not doing your job. Not talking about the job you get paid for. I'm talking about the job in life. You're living on this blue rock, you know what I mean? You got to take a step forward regardless, in this business, out of this business, whatever. But a lot of those guys that got released, I know a couple of them, really, really know them. They'll get right back on that horse, man. They're stars, man. They're stars.
And about you, so what do we got? You're wrestling almost every weekend.
Man, I am so busy right now. I mean, I broke 2 of my toes. I don't even know where I'm going. No, tomorrow we're wrestling here again. I'm so busy. I've actually been busier this past 2 months than I ever have in my whole career. And I just love it. I put my body at risk. We all do, you know what I mean? But I always say during the week I'm working out, I'm hurt, you know, and I'm trying to keep my workouts. I'm like, why do I do this? And then the weekend hits. And I've been busy this past couple months, like really busy, flying in and out. Orlando, Tampa, Miami, Jacksonville, New York I'm getting up in. Now I'm getting up in Tennessee now and stuff. Really, I want to go to the West Coast. But and you might see me in Japan maybe a couple times. So I'm really getting out, reaching out, you know what I mean? Coming out of my shell. But I just love it, man. I'm getting out there.
Are you a better wrestler now than you were before? And why?
That's a good question. I am a way better wrestler now, sorry. Now I'm way better wrestler because this. Before, I was told what I should expect and what I should do, but it didn't register up here. The light didn't come on for me. Don't get me wrong, Bubba and Devon, they're great entertainers. They've taught me everything I know. I owe them everything in this that I have in this business, and everything up here to those guys. But to those guys now, the light came on. Now I know what I'm doing in that ring. I feel it. I show it. It's not cocky. It's confidence. And when I say I'm better than everybody, I am.
Confident.
I truly am better than everybody and anybody in that ring. On TV, off TV, any indies, any backyard. I am the future of this business. No promo, no gimmick, no BS. This is Jesse Neal, real. And I am better than anybody in this business today.
And I'm sure you can see him in action. He'll prove it to you. Just go see him live. Jesse, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. All right. Rodolfo Roman of The Roman Show with Mike here. And, you know, one thing that came across here at the Florida Supercon is this cool comic book. We're going to show this thing off right here. It's called Headlocked. And it's super neat because the creators are pretty much essentially professional wrestlers.
Well, it's, I mean, I'm the writer, but we use a lot of wrestlers artistically. One of the sort of themes of the book is sort of the exploration of wrestling as an art form. So Jerry the King Lawler paints the covers. Our interior artist is a wrestler from New Zealand. We have Ken Anderson involved artistically, Beth Phoenix, Shane Helms, Rob Van Dam. So we got a lot of cool things going on with it.
Mike, how'd you manage to get all these professional wrestlers to contribute to this comic book?
I think a lot of the guys are respectful of what I'm trying to do with the book. You know, a lot of them are passionate about comics, as you know, as I'm passionate about wrestling and comics, and they just wanted to help. You know, they know how tough it is as an independent to get any kind of traction, so they wanted to help me. You know, help me get out there.
Mike, one thing I've noticed that lately, a lot of the wrestling community has been promoting such work of artistic work. There's another gentleman that loves painting, but do you see now that there's more art involved with wrestling, and we're going to see more a lot about this?
I mean, I think it's always been that way. I just don't think people realized it. You know, I think there's more of an appreciation for what goes into it, and I think that's what you see. I think a lot of guys have an artistic soul, and I think that's what draws people to it. You know, it's hard, it's performance art, and I think that's part of why you would see stuff like that.
How many issues do you have already, and give us a little synopsis of what can people expect when they read it?
It's about a kid who's a theater major in college who falls in love with wrestling, and he decides that he wants to become a wrestler, so he quits school, and it's sort of his journey starting out as a fan and working his way in through the wrestling business. It's sort of a cable drama style book. Wouldn't really recommend it for kids. You know, there's some sort of adult things in the book, but you know, that's it. It's just anybody. You don't have to know anything about wrestling. I mean, you starting out just if you know that it's, you know, two guys in the ring and that's it. So.
Now, I want to say, Mike, that we could probably give away one of these. All you have to do is just like the fan page, like our fan page, and we'll hook you up with a free copy. What's your fan page and the website?
It's everything is Headlocked Comic. It's my Facebook, Twitter. It's my gamer tag on Xbox if you want to play me in Left 4 Dead. So
there you go. So like their fan page, our fan page, Roman Show Media, on Twitter at The Roman Show, and we'll hook you up with a pair. Oh, not a pair, sorry, but a copy of Headlocked.